Hey there, fellow knitting enthusiasts. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rita, and today I have a delightful project in store for you. We'll be knitting a charming Weasley sweater Christmas tree ornament, perfect for adding a touch of magic to your holiday decor. Before we dive into the exciting world of knitting magic, let's gather our materials. Choose a medium weight yarn in festive colors. Opt for a maroon and gold for that iconic Weasley sweater look. Grab a pair of size US 8 or 5 mm knitting needles. If you're comfortable with circular needles, you can use those too. Of course, we'll need scissors for snipping threads and yarn. A yarn needle, also known as a tapestry needle, will be your best friend when it comes to weaving in ends and assembling your ornament. By the way, if you want to use different yarn or needles of a different size, feel free to experiment. Each project can become truly unique. To begin, let's cast on 13 stitches using the long tail cast on method. And here's a little tip. Make sure to leave a tail that's about 3 times the width of your knitting for later seaming. Once you've got those stitches on your needle, it's time to create that classic stockinette stitch texture. Repeat this pattern. Knit on the right side, purl on the wrong side, furl on the wrong side for the next 11 rows. Let's start the increases for the sleeves. In the 12th row, continue knitting in the established pattern, knitting on the right side. But at the end of this row, we'll introduce an increase. Knit the stitches as usual, and then on the right needle, cast on 7 stitches. This will create the foundation for our sleeve. Turn your knitting, and in the 13th row, work with purl stitches on the wrong side. And just like in the previous row, at the end of this row, Cast on 7 stitches on the right needle. And there you have it. We've successfully started our sleeve increases, and you're now working with 27 stitches on your knitting needles. Continue knitting the next 14 to 18 rows, maintaining the established stitch pattern without any further increases. As we move to the 19th row, we're creating that lovely neckline. Knit the first 12 stitches as usual. Then bind off the next 3 stitches to shape the neckline. Finally, continue knitting the last 12 stitches to the end. In the 20th row, again knit first 12 stitches as you've been doing. Now, here's a fun twist. Cast on 3 stitches to replace the ones you bound off. And for the second cast on stitch, make it slightly longer. This will create a loop that's perfect for hanging the ornament on your Christmas tree. Moving on to the 21st row, remember that longer stitch we cast on. Purl it as usual. Now, from the 22nd to the 26th row, continue repeating the established pattern. Knit on the right side and purl on the wrong side. For the 27th row, bind off the first 7 stitches. Then knit the remaining stitches to the end. And in the 28th row, once again, bind off the first 7 stitches. And then knit to the end. At this point, you'll have a total of 13 stitches left on your knitting needles. Continuing on, from the 29th to the 38th row, simply knit each row, maintaining the lovely stitch pattern. And finally, in the 39th row, it's time to wrap things up. Bind off all the stitches. Before we wrap up, remember that we're not quite done yet. Just like when we started, leave a tail after binding off for later seaming. Now that we've completed all the knitting, it's time to bring our Weasley sweater Christmas tree ornament to life by assembling it and adding those final touches. To begin, we'll sew the body and sleeves of the sweater using a technique called mattress stitch. This stitch creates an invisible seam, giving our ornament a polished and professional look. When you've sewn the body and sleeves, weave the yarn tail inside the sweater to secure it. And there you have it. The main structure of your Weasley sweater ornament is complete. Now comes the exciting part, adding that iconic Weasley sweater touch with a beautifully embroidered letter right on the front of our ornament. To begin, grab your gold-colored yarn. To create the letter, we will use the method of duplicate stitches. Find the middle of the sweater where you want the letter to be centered. For a classic look, embroider the letter about 5 stitches wide and 10 rows long. This should give you a nicely proportioned and recognizable letter, just like the ones from the Weasley sweaters in the Wizarding World. Your very own Weasley sweater Christmas tree ornament, made with love and a touch of knitting magic. I hope you had as much fun creating this as I did sharing it with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future knitting adventures. Happy knitting and happy holidays!